Ukraine is a beautiful country with rich soil, seaports, and historic architecture. On the west side, in the Carpathian Mountains, you'll find active ski resorts, hikers taking walks through the forest looking for mushrooms, motorcycles roaming the hills on endless trails, and you may spot a paraglider floating through the sky. Some might say it is a glimpse of heaven. However, on the east side, it's a different story. The beauty has been tarnished by the war. Beautiful buildings that once stood tall have been destroyed. Families have been displaced. Farmers' fields are now flooded with landmines. Military drones and missiles seem to be what is flying through its air. And so many thousands have died. Some might say it is a glimpse of hell. It is in this hell that Ukrainian soldiers continue to fight to restore the beauty of their country, despite the pain, suffering, and loss it has cost them. But who will fight for them? Who will fight for the resilient soldier that physically survives this war, but has emotionally crumbled and died on the inside? I'm Biz, and I'm headed to both sides of Ukraine to explore what can be done to restore the soldier. Hey, what's up, everybody? I have made it to Ukraine, and I'm on the west side. I just met my ministry partner down here, and super excited to team up with him. He's my kind of guy. He loves Jesus, and he loves something else. I gotta show you what else he likes. There we go. This is his second love, dirt bikes. This is Roman. He is getting ready for the great adventure. Roman doesn't speak English, but his love for motorcycles and Jesus bonded us rather quickly. He leads a unique Bible study that trains boys how to follow Jesus and how to ride dirt bikes. And he also meets with a group of men 6 days a week to pray for the soldiers who are fighting for their country. Needless to say, Roman was my kind of guy. The day after I got to Ukraine, Roman insisted that we ride motorcycles to the top of the mountains. It didn't take long for me to break a motorcycle. However, we did finally get to the summit, and it was epic. I have often said that riding a motorcycle is like visiting a therapist for me, and the beauty of that mountaintop reminded me why. So evidently plans have changed, and we are getting on a train headed to Kyiv, and that train leaves in 3 hours, and we are an hour away from where I've been staying, and my stuff is scattered everywhere. So, man, things change on a dime out here. I thought I wasn't leaving for 2 days, and now I'm leaving in 2 or 3 hours. So, welcome to Ukraine. On the train ride to Kyiv, a soldier sat beside us to visit. He showed us pictures on his phone and explained how he had lost his leg just a few months prior due to a landmine. He laughed quite a bit, but I could tell he was definitely carrying a weight of pain from being in the war. In Kyiv, we journeyed to where the war began. It was heart-wrenching to think of the lives that were lost in that region. And it's shocking to think that missiles still rain down on the capital city from time to time.
Is that real alarm, or is that just part of the radio?
Alarm. That's real alarm.
Mine's not going off. Evacuate?
Take them with your phone.
She's trying to make us leave?
Yeah.
So they brought us out some paper sacks. And I guess they're trying to close down quickly.
continued to venture east with a couple of Roman's friends, his pastor, and a chaplain that served near the front lines. On our 12-hour car ride, the chaplain received a phone call that one of his friends had died in the war.
His friend died? You just found out?
On the way to Jerusalem, just found out that chaplain's friends died.
He showed little emotion, and I couldn't help but wonder if the people of Ukraine had been around this so much that now they had become desensitized to it. We stopped at a cemetery to pay our respects. The number of soldiers that had died from that small region was striking. So many lives lost. The memorial of a female soldier really got my attention. A couple years ago, I'd met many women and children who had legally left Ukraine as refugees. But for whatever reason, this young woman had chose to stay and to fight for her country. The words on the back of her memorial read, "Fly away to heaven, my angel, for you have already been to hell." As we got near the war front, I noticed that fields were covered with hundreds of flags warning people of landmines. Cars that had been blown up were left on the side of the road, and many homes and villages were destroyed, abandoned, or being rebuilt. As we entered a village that had previously been occupied by the oppressor, the chaplain blessed the people with donated resources and words of encouragement, while the pastor had a very unique gift of cheering up people with his accordion. Near the close of our journey, we spent time with soldiers, and we did our best to encourage them in the Lord, even though it was hard to find the right words. One particular soldier we met had lost his leg in the war. We had given him a stove to help his family, and he was thankful. But he said something that really resonated with us. He said that he had once had a dream that when this war was over, he would get a motorcycle to help him find relief. But now that he had lost his leg, that dream was gone. We all kind of smiled and looked at each other and said, "We're going to pray that within 1 year you'll be connecting with God and riding a motorcycle in the Carpathian Mountains." His eyes just lit up dreaming of that possibility. And now we have the opportunity to make that dream come true. If you want to join us in helping this Baptist church convert this part of their church to a place of respite for soldiers on the front lines, I would encourage you to jump in with this vision. This is exciting stuff because this church has a vision to bring soldiers here that have been on the war front and to find respite and relief from all that emotional trauma that they've been through. And so they said they wanted to build this onto their church because they also wanted the soldiers to have some spiritual nourishment as well. And so it's connected to a Baptist church here, a great community in this small village that's in the middle of the Carpathian Mountains. And so not only would they have a free place to stay, but they could also explore the Carpathian Mountains. They could go out and hike. They could go mushroom hunting. An hour away is a well-known ski resort in Ukraine. Or they could hop on a motorcycle. There's a motorcycle ministry here who would allow them to go out and go for a ride as well. And we're looking at investing in that motorcycle ministry as well, because if you know anything about motorcycles, when you're on them, it's like you're visiting a therapist. All your worries go away, and it's amazing the camaraderie that can take place on a motorcycle in the mountains. Just the enjoyment that you can have. And I think that's just a beautiful thing for these soldiers who have been on the front lines and they have all these traumatic experiences in their mind
to come to a place where they could just release all that and have this beautiful camaraderie with other guys and enjoyment and sitting around and sharing stories, not from the war, but from the ride of the day, and share stories of what God possibly did in their life through some of the pastoral counseling that may take place here. There's just a beautiful vision taking place here, and it's not all figured out yet. It's kind of in that building momentum stage, but they ran out of funds, but they still got the dream. And so I would love to help them finish this part of the vision, to get this building restored so that these soldiers would have a place to stay, and to help them build momentum of helping soldiers from the front line find relief.